Yo, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE80, aka 13th Wonder of the World, Mike DZ. So nice of y'all to join me on this Thursday morning for the point of view. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy. Shout out to M Breezy. Shout out to Naya. Shout out to my sister. Thank y'all for listening to me on the point of view on this Thursday. It's kind of like a cloudy, rainy Thursday here in the South, especially in Louisiana. But I just thank God that I'm still on the land of the living as well as you all as well. Very interesting day today. The NCAA tournament still really starts kicking off. I am proud of Grambling for winning last night. Grambling State won, so they're in. They're in the top 64. I think they're in the 32 or whoever they play. I don't know who they're going to play yet, but they're in. I had them down for them to win, and they won. So congratulations to Grambling. They might not make it no more further than what they are, but congratulations to Grambling for making that move. Sorry, guys, if you hear that's the air on. Going to try to get all that air out, you know. But, yeah, it was a great day. Great time yesterday watching it. Congratulations to KD, Kevin Durant. He passed Shaq on the all-time scoring list. Kevin Durant, guys, before LeBron James broke Kareem's record, I had said, and I was talking to a lot of people, I had said that Kevin Durant could possibly score 40,000 points, could break Kareem's record before LeBron did it. So I think Kevin Durant can still play until he's 40 as well. But LeBron James is probably going to end up retiring with 42,000 points, folks, or 43,000. I don't see him. I see him. He's got 2 good more years left in, and I think that last year he's going to just ride it out and just try to get back to the get out of the sunset. But I think he can win another championship before he rides out the sunset. The Lakers have got to find a way to get this guy, get LeBron another championship. He needs to win 5. He needs to win 5 NBA championships. He's won the in-season tournament. He's won 4 championships. He's been in the 10 finals. He's 4-6 in the finals. But he needs to win one more to at least go 5 for 6, something like that. Or what is it? 5 for 6 is what, 11? Something like that. He needs to go back to the finals one more time. And even if he's not the main guy on the team, Anthony Davis has got to step back up. Anthony Davis has been playing great this year. He's only been out a few games or whatever. But Anthony Davis has had a great season this year, guys. It's just that the core that the Lakers have with them, they're not up to par to get to where they need to get. And that's just a sad case because Russell plays great. Not only Russell plays great, but also you got other guys there that can play with the Lakers, but it's not happening the way that we want it to. So with that being said, we got to go back to the drawing board. We need to pick up another player that can help us, help LeBron and AD. LeBron's probably going to be the back burner guy, the guy on the edge of the bench, or going to be the third wheel on the Ferris wheel if they can get another guy to come and play with them. D'Angelo Russell has been great, but I think after this season, the Lakers are still going to try to trade him. I think you go out there and you try to get Donovan Mitchell. I see Donovan Mitchell or Zach LaVine or somebody else coming to the Lakers. The thing about this is Pelinka and Jeannie Buss are going to have to spend some money. They're just going to have to take a luxury tax fee or something. Do what the Golden State Warriors do. They play guys, they pick up guys, but they pick them up for the bare minimum. Look at what happened when the Miami Heat, when LeBron James, D Wade, and Chris Bosh joined their team. They only broke the bank on one guy, and that was Mike Miller. They paid Mike Miller the big bucks, and they signed everybody else to a mid-level contract. Even Shane Battier I think he got a little more, but it was all worth it to get to the finals and win a championship. That's what you're going to have to do with the Lakers. Kevin Durant, when he was with the Warriors and he signed that 2-year big extension with the Warriors, this is what he did. He took $5 million out of his deal and he told them to re-sign Sean Livingston. Why did he say that? Because he knew that Livingston was very important to what the Warriors had for them to win the championship. Sometimes the big guys, the big stars on the team are going to have to say, hey, Anthony Davis did it too, guys. Anthony Davis he gave a couple of millions back so they could get some routine players on their team to try to help the Lakers. That's what you're going to have to do. The Lakers are going to have to do that again. They're going to have to figure it out. I know the season is not over. I know that the Lakers can make something happen, but this has got to happen for them in order for them to get back to the elite level of a championship. I'm worried about my Lakers. I'm worried about LeBron. I'm worried about AD because here's the deal. If they get put out, and right now they're in the play-in, they're ninth seed right now. They're not going to be a 6th seed playing like this. The season is almost over. I think you only have like 15 games left. And I'll tell you this. If the Lakers start conceding and losing, LeBron James is not going to play anymore this season. I can tell you that right now. They're going to rest him for the rest of the season. That's what I see, and that's what's going to happen, as well as Anthony Davis. It's going to happen if the Lakers stay intent and they end up losing out, along with the Warriors. This is going to be a tough season for LeBron. He accomplished one thing this year. You see, for the last 2 years, he's been accomplishing things, but he has not been accomplishing what he wanted to accomplish, and that's win a championship. He won the in-season championship, they're the first team to do it. He's the first man to do it. That's cool. But they're not winning when it counts. So we'll see what happens with the Lakers, folks, as they get on. I hope that we can get on the ball. Clippers are looking okay. Last night they won as well. This is the year that Kawhi Leonard has been playing absolutely great. He has not been out that many games. He hasn't had where he's been resting, load management. He's not been doing that this year. Actually, Kawhi has been out there playing, giving it his all. He does have a aggravating Achilles knee injury or something like that, what has been hurting him for years. But Kawhi Leonard's been playing great, guys. So I still say that he is a part of the MVP conversation, along with Luka, along with SGA, along with Giannis, along with Jason Tatum, Joker. I don't know on Phoenix, is Kevin Durant a MVP candidate? I don't know, because they have been so up and down this season. If you want to talk about somebody that's been Ant-Man, he's also considered a part of the MVP conversation as well. So I say that to say this here, and I want people to understand what I'm saying here. I think and I want people to understand what I'm thinking here. I think that Joker could possibly once again be the MVP. And I'll say this for a reason because he's been playing almost all the games. So we'll see what happens. Do I think Denver can win the championship again? There's a possibility that they can because they are one of the best teams in the NBA. They had a bad mishap Sunday against Dallas when Kyrie Irving hit that game-winning skyhook. But other than that, Denver's been okay. Murray's been playing great. Their bench has been playing great. Joker is Joker, and those are the things that I say that could possibly happen. We'll see what happens as I'm talking the NBA. I will talk about the NCAA more tomorrow, the tournament. I know North Carolina plays today. I know our team, Michigan State, my team plays first. I'm hoping that we can win. I'm hoping that we can get this done. I'm hoping that we can go on and get into the 32, and I hope we can make some noise, man, and get all the way to the championship because I didn't pick Michigan State because they've disappointed me and they've hurt my soul for the last couple of years. They get to the big dance and they get put out in the first game or in the top 32. I want to see if they can make it to the 16, to the 8, to the 4, and then it'd be 1, and that beats them. Izzo deserves another championship, guys. There's no doubt about it. When you go back to Michigan State, then I'm going to go to wrestling. I just want to talk a little history about Michigan State. When you talk about Michigan State, you talk about the greats of a Mateed Cleaves, a Mo Peep, Draymond Green, a lot of guys, Michigan State basketball players. Football, Kirk Cousins is from Michigan State. He played for Michigan State. My football team was terrible this year, but my basketball team was not that up to par as well. They were playing like poop at times, but I'm here to tell you they got into the dance. And LSU, the guys got to the NIT and got put out. Tough, man. It was hard to see that, man, but it is what it is. I'm just hoping and praying that Michigan State can make some noise in this tournament, that we could get back to the top of the food chain, which is to win the whole NCAA tournament. With that being said, let me talk about AEW Dynamite / Rampage. TBS, not TNT. And they're not going to be on tomorrow night or Saturday because of the NCAA tournament that's going to be on TBS TV, TNT, True TV, CBS, and all these, and as well as ESPN and all the other sports outlets. Let me say this here, and I want people to understand what I'm about to tell you. The competition in AEW with AEW last night earned their stripes last night. 3 hours combined with Dynamite and Rampage. What a show they had last night. From top to bottom was great. The action was great. The matches were great. Everything came on that scene last night was great. From Okada beating Eddie Kingston for the AEW Continental Classic title, which I knew was going to happen, but I also thought that Eddie Kingston was going to hold it. But because Okada is the $1 million man, they decided to put the title on him. Eddie Kingston had a great run, but he still has 2 belts. So he's not the AEW Continental Champion anymore. That goes to Okada. So congratulations to Okada for winning the title. There was another title change last night, and I'll get to that in a minute. The match with Thunder Rosa and teaming up with Deonna Purrazzo against Toni Storm, Mariah May, absolutely great. Great match between those four young ladies. They didn't wrestle that long, but they put on a heck of a show. It was a great show, a great match for them. It looks like it's going to be probably either a three-way match between Toni Storm, Deonna Purrazzo, and Thunder Rosa, because of the tactics that Thunder Rosa did in the match was not up to par. And we'll see what happens as that story develops. I think it's going to be a triple threat between those three ladies. That's just my thought of it. Thunder Rosa, who never lost the AEW Women's title, will have an opportunity to get her title back in the future. The match is going to happen. There's no doubt about it. That match will happen. It probably will happen at the next pay-per-view that they have, which is in April, if I'm not mistaken. Chris Jericho versus Hook. Tough match for Jericho. Very dangerous match for Jericho. Lionheart, Chris Jericho, he's not coming out to Judas right now. I guess he's going back to Lionheart for a minute. But what a great match between him and Hook. It looked like it was going to be a job guy match at first because Chris Jericho was getting slung around in the ring. Hook is something serious, but he said he has a proposition for him. And I bet you I know what the proposition is. He's going to ask Hook to be his tag team partner in the AEW Tag Team Title Tournament. We'll see how far they get. That's all I can tell you. It'll be this would be a coming out party for Chris Jericho if him and Hook could win that tournament. We'll have to see. Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, they're throwing people in the way so that Swerve don't have a one-on-one match with Joe. Now he's going up against Taneska. That's going to be next week. Swerve beat the Butcher in a big man out in the ring. Very interesting to see how that goes for him. They're jerking Swerve around, but I guarantee you guys, when they pull the plug and make him the first black AEW World Champion, it's going to be all worth it. It's going to be all good in the hood for Swerve Strickland if they pull the trigger and let him become the first ever AEW Black World Champion. That's exactly what it is. He's going to make history. He is going to make history. He is. Yes, he is. Let's talk about something else in there. The snub of the AEW Tag Team titles. Jon Moxley and Cesaro. They should have been in this tournament. They beat FTR. They should have been in this tag team tournament, and they're not. They're not in it. I don't understand why they're not in it. I think they snubbed them. Bennett and Taven are still the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. I think they could go for those titles if they want to. Wardlow disappointed Adam Cole, so Adam Cole said protect him, that the rest of the guys keep their titles, which he probably will, but after a while, Wardlow's not gonna like that. He's not gonna keep taking orders from Adam Cole. He's gonna wanna jump on Adam Cole. That's coming soon. Watch it. And of course, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang is no longer a group. It looks like it's going to be the Bang Bang Scissor Gang versus the Bullet Club Gold for all three titles. Who's going to be the double champions? We'll see how that turns out for them when it happens real soon. Mercedes Monet, aka Sasha Banks, was on Rampage. I mean, not Rampage, but on Dynamite last night, and she was talking her stuff. Her and Willow Nightingale still have a receipt. She said she still got unfinished business with Willow Nightingale. Willow Nightingale almost like to hit her with a chair. They lost the tag team match between Julia Hart and Sky Blue versus, Statlander and Willow. Statlander lost the match. Willow Nightingale could possibly be turning heel. You never know what might happen in these matches, because this is exactly what's happening. You're starting to see the women that they're trying to make heels. And if Willow Nightingale's one of them, and also, as you can see, Thunder Rosa's one of them. You can see that is starting to ride heavy with them. Not only that, let me talk about the elephant in the room, the match. Also, the best friends, Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, they defeat the Callis Club, Kyle Fletcher and Powerhouse Hobbs. They beat them, so they're in the tournament as well. Shout out to OC. He's still doing his thing, even though he's not the champion, the AEW International Champion anymore. He's still doing his thing, so shout out to him. Let me talk about the elephant in the room now. What a great I Quit match between Edge and Christian. This is Edge versus Christian. If you go back to 2001, when they had the ladder match for the Intercontinental title in WWE, this is Edge versus Christian in a match that took place on Raw in 2009, when Christian was at the peak of his game then, and Edge was still at the peak. He was still at the top of his game. A great match that was between them. Last night was a great match. They were able to eliminate both Luchasaurus and Nick Wayne and Mother Wayne. And guess what happened? Edge went to work on Christian. Great match AEW had. That was a great main event for Dynamite, guys. Congratulations to Edge for being a two-time TNT champion. Now, it's obvious that Edge right now is on the mid card. How long do you think it's going to be before Edge starts climbing up the ladder, wanting to become the next AEW World Champion? It's coming. Just give it a little time. He's got to lose that title first in order for him to get to that elevation. And I'll tell you this, they're doing the opposite with him, what they did with CM Punk when CM Punk first came in. When CM Punk came to AEW, there was no doubt about it, he was going to be the world champion. When Daniel Bryan came to AEW, everybody thought that he was going to have a shot at the world title. He had shots at the world title. He didn't win. I don't understand what's going on with Bryan Danielson. I think Bryan Danielson is just there to just showcase his talent and not win any titles. I would love to see him become the Ring of Honor pure champion if that was the case. You know, I want to see him win a title before he exits the game, before he leaves professional wrestling, because he's not going to be wrestling. I'll give Daniel Bryan a year or two left, and then he's out of there. But I think he has I think he signed a 3-year deal, so I think his contract is up by August, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Also, speaking of contracts up, this is in TNA. The guys, the Motor Machine Guns, Chris Sabin, Alex Shelley, there's rumors going out that their contracts are up. Let me say this. If I'm AEW, I try to sign the Motor Machine Guns. I'll tell you why. They can bring excitement to your tag team division, even if you put them on Ring of Honor, which I think they've been there already. But if you put them on Ring of Honor, they can put butts in the seat, because Shelley and Sabin, even though they're older now, I think both of them are like 40 something, if I'm not mistaken, you can still get good matches out of them. They, and I don't want to rank on one of the greatest tag teams of all time. One of the greatest tag teams are the Hardys, because Matt and Jeff Hardy are it. Those guys have been wrestling since they're like 15, 16 years. They've been around the business for over 30-something years. When TNA first came out, Chris Sabin was wrestling in TNA in the X Division. He's a former 10-time X Division champion. He's won the tag team titles on multiple occasions with Alex Shelley. And not only that, he's a former world champion, a former TNA world champion, just as well as Alex Shelley was. Alex Shelley had never took, because if you guys remember Alex Shelley in the early days of TNA, he was a goofball. He would be out there recording Sting while he's playing catch with his family, his sons, and all that stupid stuff there. But Alex Shelley has grown and made himself more serious in the business. So I'm saying this here, their contracts are up. I don't think they're going to sign with WWE. If they sign with WWE, there's got to be a reason why they're going there. Is it because they're going to be the tag team champions or what? You don't need Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin if I'm WWE in NXT. Put them on the main roster. They would be a great addition to what you need in your tag team division. Because the thing about it is this, guys. I love tag team wrestling. I love it because this is why I love it. Because you have more people in the ring that can take care of you if you have a bump. No disrespect to singles matches. I love singles matches. But I love tag team wrestling. I think the more people in the ring, the better the matches are at times, to me. Because you could always depend on your partner and make sure that your opponent, is doing what they need to do to you in the ring to make you, make it believable, make the action as intensified as it can without actually hurting your opponent, actually hurting you. That's the thing about it. But I think that Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, their contracts are up. They may resign with TNA. I don't know. They may resign. They may sign with WWE. Who knows? They may sign with AEW. I think AEW would be the spot for them because AEW is also looking at another guy. Rumor has it Shelton Benjamin is on the AEW radar. I tell you like this here. Shelton Benjamin. I know he's like 46 now, 45, whatever. Man, you get Shelton Benjamin over there, and he can put on some great matches. He does not have to be a world champion. He can be in that TNT, title division or that AEW international title division. You know what I'm saying? He could be a Ring of Honor pure champion. Things like that, man. Everybody's not going to be the world champion. But everybody can make a good mid-card wrestler and win the mid-card titles. That's why I love the Intercontinental and the U.S. title. I know that the world title means you've made it to the top of the mountain. But I like the ones that are trying to climb to the top, but just ain't there yet. Guys like Gunther. You know what I'm saying? Because Gunther, right now, believe it or not, and I know a lot of people don't like his persona, but as far as his skills in the ring, The guy is a full-fledged great wrestler. You know what I'm saying? He has taken the Intercontinental Championship, the belt that Pat Patterson, God bless his soul, introduced to the world, and made this belt as relevant as it is. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of guys that made the Intercontinental title relevant. Austin made it relevant. Rock, Ricky Steamboat, bless the dead, Randy Savage, Honky Tonk Man, Miz, Jericho, Kofi, Dolph, Christian. Guys like that has made the Intercontinental Championship, a household name. Randy Orton, Edge. That's a few. Triple H, like I said, Stone Cold, Kane, They've made the Intercontinental title. Bobby Lashley, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns. They've made the Intercontinental title a household name. And that's why I said what I said about it, because I believe that the Intercontinental title, if you can't be the world champion, then try to be the U.S. or the Intercontinental title. And the United States title as well has, had great names to it as well. Kurt Angle, Intercontinental champion, also a U.S. champion. Edge. And I'm talking about the United States title now. The same belt, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Roddy Piper, Bret the Hitman Hart, even though he was the Intercontinental and the U.S. champion. Chris Jericho, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, the list goes on. Stone Cold Steve Austin, a lot of guys were the United States champion. Randy Orton, Miz, John Cena. He made the United States title relevant. Miro, guys like that, Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio, both the Intercontinental and the U.S. champion. Guys like that has made the second tier titles a household name. And as much as I hate to say it, Logan Paul has brought a little relevancy to the U.S. title, even though he's going to be in a triple threat at WrestleMania. He's going up against two former United States champions in Randy Orton and KO as well. Shinsuke Nakamura, R-Truth U.S. champion. Like I said, those under titles, everybody's not going to be the world champion. Kofi Kingston, not going to be was the world champion, but probably not going to be it anymore in his career. But being a United States champion is what it is. And that's exactly what I want people to understand about why I'm talking about the Intercontinental title. And Gunther has made the title fit more important than at the time when there was no world heavyweight champion, has made the title a world title. A relevant title. So shout out to him for that. Shout out to Gunther for that. Gunther, he probably will lose the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Excuse the noise out there. They're out here cutting the grass. I think that's what they're doing. But it's just great for business right now. And that's all I want people to know. That's exactly what I want to talk about when I talk about wrestling. We know tomorrow is Friday Night SmackDown. We know that Cody and Roman are going to face to face. We also know that the tag team, the ladder match for the tag team titles, the tournament's still on. I think DIY, Awesome Truth, Finn Balor, I think Dunn and Bate has made it as well, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I think the Street Profits are going to be in there because You can't have a match without that. You can't have a tag team match without the Street Profits in there. They're gonna be in that match. It's just that plain simple. And I'm saying this, and I'm gonna say this with all due respect. If Nick Aldis, who's injured right now, I hope that he gets himself together. I pray for a speedy recovery for him. But if I'm them, I split the titles up after WrestleMania. I let Raw have their tag team titles, and I let SmackDown have some tag team titles, and we go back to once again just having a set on one show instead of having two belts on both. Because Finn Balor and Damian Priest have not been on SmackDown ever since that. They have not been on SmackDown. They usually go to SmackDown, and that's the thing right there. I think that's what they need to do in order for them to, keep people talking. I think they need to make a women's title this year, another women's mid-card title. That's exactly what I think they need to do as well, because that needs to be taken care of as well. Everybody's not going to be the women's world champion, but it's great to see some women be mid-card champions. And if they had a title, let me talk about who I think should win. Bayley was one of the girls I said, but Bayley's possibly going to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. So let me just scratch her name out the list. Asuka, who's injured right now, but she is a tag team champion. I would say her. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this also as well. I think that Tiffany Stratton, Bianca Belair, Raquel Rodriguez, Becky Lynch could be some great mid-card women's champions if they had titles. That's just me being honest. That's my truth about it. And I'm telling you that. It's just that simple. Could you imagine having a women's Intercontinental champion? Could you imagine women's United States champion? The women's need another title. Everybody can't be the world champion. They need to steal that idea from AEW, because AEW and Ring of Honor have mid-card women's titles. And this is the thing. Where WWE have them beat at is that they don't have any women's tag team titles in AEW, which I think they're going to make soon. And I think that they're going to do. I think Ring of Honor is trying to do it as well. I don't know, but I would have a women's AEW women's tag team champions, and you got 3 shows to let the women defend it on. And if I'm WWE, I would have a mid-card title. That's why you see Julia Hart, the TBS champion. And everybody's asking this question here: where is Britt Baker? Britt Baker is one of the founders of the women's division in AEW, along with Nyla Rose, along with Thunder Rosa. Those are the 3 main squeezes, and Anna Jay. Those are the 3 main squeezes, 4 main squeezes, excuse me, and of course Julia Hart are the originals of AEW. Let me say this. Britt Baker can be the TBS champion, women's champion, if they market her right. Let me tell you a match that I want to see happen, and I think I'm going to see this either this year or next year. Britt Baker versus Mercedes Moné. Whether it's a title on the line or not. You talk about putting butts in the seat. That matchup right there between Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné, aka Sasha Banks, you telling me that match won't draw? That match right there will draw between those 2 young ladies. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. That would build up what it is, man. That build up would be phenomenal. That build up would be just like the build up between Trish and Lita, Sasha versus Becky, Bayley and Charlotte. Listen to what I'm telling you. Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair last year's WrestleMania, or Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks at WrestleMania the year before, where she won the title from Sasha Banks, being the first two black ladies to main event WrestleMania. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. If you have that match between Britt Baker and Mercedes Moné, that match could possibly be the match of the year. If it happens this year, I'm hoping that it happens this year, because there's some talks about Britt Baker having a beef with Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. Let it happen, man. Let it happen. Let's see that match happen, folks. Although there's other matches that Mercedes Moné could have as well in AEW. We know that she if they wanted to book it, she would beat Toni Storm. You know, she would beat Julia Hart. But in order for her, they've got to make the right program for her. And she will be wrestling at that pay-per-view. And here's another thing that I think that AEW is being careful with her about. She's very injury prone. She is very injured prone, is Mercedes Moné. That's the reason why when she won titles in WWE, she didn't have them long, because she stayed injured. She couldn't stay healthy. I'm here to tell you, that's the only con of Mercedes Moné's character. She stays hurt a lot. She stays injured. Hopefully, pray to God that the young lady have a great year, a great time in AEW. I wish she would have came back to WWE, but she decided AEW because I know why she picked them now. AEW broke the bank on her. I'm quite sure WWE did too, but AEW broke the bank on her. Believe what I'm telling you. Believe that. Believe that fact, folks. Believe it. Because exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened with Mercedes Moné. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am out. I am DDE80. God bless you. God keep you. Enjoy your Thursday. Enjoy the NCAA tournament, because there's a slew of games come on today. Enjoy TNA Impact, which is coming on tonight. The NBA coming on tonight. Major League Baseball tonight. Hockey. Women's college basketball. You've got it all, ladies and gentlemen. All your doses of sports. I love y'all. God bless y'all. Y'all enjoy y'all Thursday. Talk to y'all tomorrow. We will be talking about the preview of SmackDown, some NBA, NCAA, college talk. I've got I've got a list of special podcasts I need to take care of. Hopefully, I will do one before the weekend's out. I've got one, and this is a crazy one, but I talked to my boy about this, and he said go for it. Michael Jordan's greatest games, not as the Chicago Bulls are all year, all the way around, but his best Washington Wizards games. Even though they didn't make the playoffs, Jordan had some exciting times with the Washington Wizards. That's one of the podcasts. Still one on Sting. I've got two on Sting. I've got one where it's not WWE or WCW. It's the greatest matches of AEW and TNA when Sting was there. I've got some on my favorite, Intercontinental title matches. That's coming up soon as we get towards the WrestleMania season. I've got a lot of special podcasts I'm going to get taken care of. You guys continue listening to The Point of View on YouTube as well as Spotify. God bless y'all. Thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for the ones that listens. You guys can leave me a comment, but, and also listen to Bobby Reese's music. Great song, man. You know, the feeling of it being pressured, you know. I'm not going to say the name of the song on here, but it just, you know how you is when you're pressured. So you guys look out for that as well. Listen to that as well. Congratulations to Bobby Reezy for another hit. Like I said, God bless y'all. God keep y'all. This has been The Point of View. I'm out.